February the 4th, 1959, and at Ibadan Airport, all is ready to welcome a distinguished visitor, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Prime Minister of Ghana. The press was there in force, for this was an important occasion, and the people of Western Nigeria would expect to read about it and see pictures in their morning papers. As the plane taxied in 10 minutes ahead of time, every reporter and photographer wanted a close-up view as Chief Obafemi Awolowo greeted his guest. It was 14 years since the two had met. With Dr. Nkrumah were three of his ministers, Mr. Krobo Edusai, and Mr. Kofi Barker, and Mr. Kojo Boccio. The weather was fine. A good omen for a visit which was destined to strengthen the already happy relations which exist between Western Nigeria and Ghana. Dr. Nkrumah inspected the Guard of Honor, which was mounted by a detachment of the Nigeria Police under the command of Mr. E.E. James, Assistant Superintendent. After the inspection, Chief Awolowo presented members of his cabinet, the men who carry heavy responsibilities, as Nigeria, like Ghana before it, moves towards self-government. Also presented on this occasion were federal ministers, leaders of life in the district, opposition members, and the governor's aide-de-camp. Then Dr. Nkrumah and Chief Awolowo drove from the airport to the Premier's private residence at Okeado. Among the crowds were many Ghanaians who live in Ibadan. All along the 6-mile route, they gave the Premier and his guest a particularly warm welcome, for the Western government has a continuing and abiding interest in the welfare of Ghanaians in the region, and it was their way of saying thank you. The ovation went on all the way to Okeado, where again large crowds had gathered to welcome Dr. Nkrumah. The sincerity of that welcome was without question. Close ties linked the two countries, and friendship between them, which is of the greatest importance to both. Many distinguished people were present at the reception which followed, and there were literally busloads of people outside. When Dr. Nkrumah and Chief Awolowo came out onto the roof, enthusiasm knew no bounds. A tribute to the two men who have played such large parts in the progress of their respective countries and of West Africa as a whole. University College Ibadan was visited as soon as Dr. Nkrumah and his party had had a short rest. A thorough form of inspection of all departments was made, and when the Prime Minister left, the cheering broke out all over again. Next, to the £3.5 million University College, where once again there were tremendous scenes of enthusiasm to record. The Ghanaian visitors must have been deeply impressed by this great university, which stands as a tribute to the keenness of Nigeria to acquire modern education of the highest standard. Dr. J.H. Parry, principal of the college, escorted Dr. Nkrumah, and at the library he was met by Mr. J. Packman, the deputy librarian. On the following day, Dr. Nkrumah and his ministers paid a courtesy visit to the offices of the governor of Western Nigeria, Sir John Rankin. Later, they went to the House of Assembly, where they were conducted round by Chief Anthony Anaharo. There was also a visit to the House of Chiefs. Then, in the Executive Council Hall, discussions took place which were of tremendous importance for the two countries. Soon afterwards, at the Lafia Rest Center, there was a state luncheon for the visitors. Honor was being paid to Dr. Nkrumah by the Western Nigeria government, and Chief Awolowo, as its elected head, acted as host with his wife beside him. Among the guests were the Owa of Ijesha land, Oba Biladu III, the Deputy Governor and Lady Mooring, the Secretary to the Premier and the Executive Council, Dr. Biabaku and Mrs. Biabaku, and the Olubadan of Ibadan, Oba I.B. Akanyela. The Minister of Education, Mr. Ayadela Okusaga, Mr. Alfred Raweni, and Mr. S.G. Sanibari, both executive members of the Production Development Board, were also among the guests, which included members of the Assembly, Obas, chiefs, bishops, and judges. There were many informal conversations before, during, and after the luncheon. It was an ideal opportunity for the leaders of Western Nigeria to discuss with the Ghanese visitors the future and all that it holds in store. Cooperation between the newly self-governing countries is vital to the progress of West Africa, and Dr. Nkrumah's visit had made possible the renewing of old friendships and the establishing of many new ones. This first state visit to Nigeria by Dr. Nkrumah was therefore of great significance. As the guests left the luncheon, Dr. Nkrumah's 12-day tour of the Federation was almost at an end. The Western people had received him as a friend, as well as the elected head of a neighboring state. It had been a memorable visit. At the airport, the farewell was as sincere as the welcome had been. Mr. Krobo Edusai wore a Yoruba dress presented to him by Chief Awolowo. Dr. Nkrumah and the other two ministers had also received similar gifts. Many of Dr. Nkrumah's own countrymen were at the airport to see him off. This visit by the Prime Minister of the first independent state in British West Africa had been of far-reaching importance, an importance which can only be measured in the years to come. And so, in this way, Western Nigeria said goodbye and Godspeed to an honored and welcome guest.